Hello, I'm Uncle Buck, and I'm here today to teach you some yin yoga. Just kidding, everyone. It's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and I'm here today to teach you some yin yoga. We're going to get started on our mats. I'm going to give you just about 1 minute to get there. And we're starting in Savasana. I feel like it's been a really long time since we truly started from laying down on our backs. So make your way to your space. Feel free to bring blocks, straps, pillows, towels, whatever makes you happy. I'm just going to make sure everything is streaming properly over here, and then I will join you on the floor. As you're starting to relax into your mat or whatever space it is that you're taking class from today, start tuning into your breath, making your exhale a little bit longer, especially than your inhale. Oh, I'm so far away. I'm so far away. Let's come a little bit closer. Ah, all right. And if you're not already down on the floor, now is the time. Personally, I am ready for this. Just finished a nice long meeting where Uncle Buck insisted I hold him for the second half of the meeting. Still just noticing the quality of your breath, working towards really enjoying the sensation and taking a moment to hold your lungs as they are fully expanded, even your diaphragm feeling expanded as you inhale, and then on your exhale, taking a moment to really enjoy the sensation of all of that stale old air and energy leaving your system so that each breath can be fresh, new, maybe a little bit longer, and every exhale itself also longer than your inhale. Remember, here in Yin Yoga, we're working towards creating as intentional of a stillness as possible, not just in your breath, as we just discussed, but also in your mind. If your eyes are moving, your mind is moving. So either finding one spot to relax your eyes, or if you still feel distracted by your thoughts or movement in the room, simply close your eyes. And if you still feel distracted by your thoughts at all, come back to your breath, maybe counting the length of your inhale, counting the length of your exhale are awesome opportunities to stay right here, right now, present at the moment. We got just under 1 minute left in this opening Savasana. All right. If you have your arms out wide or your feet are out wider than hips distance, I want you to bring your heels together for a moment. Heels touch, toes fall open, and then just working to keep those heels in line with your hips. So they might separate about 6 inches, but not too wide. Keep your left foot down on the floor. And we're going to draw the right leg up. Pull it out to the side for a moment to avoid your rib cage, and then back in towards your chest, towards that shoulder. Interlace your fingers all the way up towards the webbing and then place your hands on top of your shin. If this grip is challenging for you, it's yin, so you don't have to do the exact wind removing. Maybe you do grab hold of a strap and use that strap to help gently pull the shin or even from the back of the leg in towards the chest. As much as you can, relax your shoulders down on the mat. So if bringing things out towards the side and lifting that leg up, brought your left shoulder off of the floor, roll that left shoulder back down to the mat once again. We got 2 more minutes here in this wind removing posture. Back of the head is relaxed on the mat. Maybe even a little bit of a tucking of your chin towards your chest to get more of the back of the neck on the mat as well. All right. Sounds like some of us are less excited for yin yoga than others. On your next exhale, keep your right knee bent and release the sole of the foot down to the floor. Take a moment to ground through the sole of the foot to really relax through your lower back. And then we've got a supine tree. So just allow that knee to fall open to the side. And you can either rest on the sole of your foot up nice and high on your inner thigh or down nice and low on your calf as always. Try not to place it right against the knee just because that's not the best practice. And if it's hard for you to relax the outer edge of your knee down towards the floor, go ahead, place a block underneath of it and do whatever feels right with your hands. Ooh, maybe you're interested in a bit more of a chest opener with arms out by your side, like goalpost or straight. Maybe you're looking for a little bit more grounding and nourishment, and you bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. We're here for 2 more minutes. Maybe you bring one hand to your dog's head and one hand to your heart. No, or maybe not. It's fine. It's fine. I'll go back. One minute left, so scan your body from head to toe. Notice where you might be creating a little extra tension. I know I was taking a little bit of rounding through the shoulders, feeling that stress in the upper half of my body. Check in with your glutes, check in with your eyes and eyebrows, your fingers and your toes, and just relax. Take your time, work your way back into your savasana, keeping everything in nice and close so heels still about in line with your hips, maybe touching each other, let your toes fall open. Reground through the upper back, shoulders into the mat. We'll spend 1 minute here, relaxing again, just where we started. And hopefully here, almost 10 minutes into class, you notice that it's a little bit easier to more quickly find your stillness and come back to your breath. All right, this time keeping your right foot where it is in line with your hips. If you want, you can flex your toes back towards your face, or you can let your toes fall towards the wall away from you. I am working to keep the top of my foot kind of like facing the top of my body as opposed to falling over to the side. And I'm going to draw the left leg up, and I hope you'll join me. We're going to pull it out away to the side, avoid rib cage, find that amazing interlaced fingers, and then flat palms uh, on your shin. And if you're like me, your right shoulder rolls off of the mat. So rolling that right shoulder back to the mat, with gentle little tucking of chin towards your chest. Find a little pressure pulling your knee in towards your chest, but keep most of it in the lower half of the body. So normally, if you are used to wind removing pose, there's a lot happening in your upper body as well. But right now, we're just focusing on this awesome stretch that's happening in the hip and the upper body is along for the ride. You still might have noticed a pinching compression sensation in your lower left abdomen. We started out stimulating the ascending colon, and next we're stimulating the descending colon. This wind removing pose is awesome for doing exactly as it states, for helping to remove any built up air and pressure within your digestive organs. One minute left right here. Relax through the chest and shoulders, relaxing your jaw. How's that nice, tight, anti-arthritic grip doing? And on your exhale, let's now bring our bent knee, the sole of the left foot, down towards the floor. Take a moment, really get that lower back into your mat, and then allow that left knee to fall open towards the side, either bringing the sole of the foot towards your upper thigh or towards your calf. And again, if you're having trouble getting this knee down on the floor, or if it just feels good, place a block underneath. We've got our 3 minutes right here. Find what feels good with your arms and upper body, and it does not have to be the exact same thing that you did on the opposite side. So now that you're starting to feel a little bit more quiet and comfortable in your stillness, maybe a slightly deeper stretch actually feels better. Last minute, right here. All right, so we're starting to be so relaxed in our body, in our breath, but I want to chat with you about your mental relaxation one more time. Do you have a mantra? Do you have something that you tell yourself to help feel good or calm down when you're in a tense or stressful situation? Maybe you don't have just one. Maybe your self-talk changes. I know frequently a lot of self-talk that I bring to myself, unfortunately, can be negative. Thinking about all the things that you need to do or that you couldn't do or that you want to make happen, maybe just like haven't yet. That's okay. And it really helps me to come back to thinking about anything that you are good at. And maybe it's one thing. I generally find that it helps if I just remind myself that I'm amazing. I am amazing is my personal mantra. And I encourage you to think towards your personal mantra. You're welcome to use mine too. And start thinking towards that. Let's send that left leg back in line with the right. So we're passing through Savasana one more time. This next posture is really going to help you if you do tend to feel anxious and have anxious thoughts, getting some nice stretches through the side of the body. I think we're like starting to stimulate the liver and like the kidneys and whatnot a little bit more, can help you to really relieve that anxious tension. So inhale your arms up overhead. Whew. Keep your feet right where they are. Sorry, hips right where they are. Walk your feet all the way over to the right as much as you can while your hips stay where they are. And then start to walk your upper body a little bit more towards the right. You can keep your feet side by side. You can hold your amazing hands. But if you want a little bit more of a stretch through the left side of the body into that IT band and whatnot, pick up your left foot and cross it over the right. And I know my shoulder's feeling pretty tight, so I'm even going to put a block under that left arm to relax and release a little bit more into banana pose. We got 2 more minutes right here in banana pose. And this might be a little uncomfortable because remember, we're going for those noticeable and maybe slightly uncomfortable stretches. If at any point the stretch switches from being noticeable and uncomfortable to truly being painful, take your time and ease your way out. But also use your breath while you're here. You don't have to go any deeper, but where else can you take out tension? I know that for me, because my left shoulder gets pretty tight, that I tend to muscle through my chest a little bit to stay in this posture. And it's a lot of thought towards relaxing, to coming back to my comforting mantra of I'm amazing. To just melt a little bit more into the floor. So use that inhale, scan your body, notice how you feel, and use your exhale to let it go and come back to your personal positive thoughts. And am I talking about toxic positivity? I sure am not. Listen, we can be realistic. Life is not always rose-colored glasses. But even in the worst of times, it's like Mr. Rogers said, even when terrible things are happening, keep an eye out for the helpers. There's always good people out there to help. And I'm just asking you to be your own helper. I know that you already are. Truly showing up for yourself on this mat today is big, whether you realize it or not. Oh, wow, we made it. If you crossed your leg, uncross your legs. Let's bring our hands back to the center first, and then bring your legs back to meet your hips. What is happening over there? I don't know. Hips stay where they are. Walk your legs this time all the way to the left. Bring your arms up overhead if you brought them down like I did by accident. Bring your arms all the way over to the left. And then if you want to, you can cross one leg over the opposite leg. And relax. Remember, this does not have to look exactly the same on both sides of the body. As long as you're feeling some sort of a stretch through the right side, especially, I presume, a big stretch from the hips all the way to your toes. You're doing something right. Just keep breathing through it. Personally, I know I'm feeling this a lot more on this side of the body. Really got to use that breath to inhale. Check in with myself where I can relax and exhale. I'm amazing. I I also think you're amazing. Last minute here in our banana pose. If you cross your legs, carefully uncross your legs. Bring your upper body back through center. Bring your lower body back through center. And then we're going to make our way into a seated position. Get there any way you want, but continue to move slowly with intention. Maybe you want to draw your knees up towards your chest and rock yourself up. I'm going to be a little bit more slow and still with my body today and roll over onto my side and then press myself up to a seated position. Make sure you have some props nearby. Next up, we've got banana pose. Kidding. Next up, we've got butterfly. So work to bring the soles of the feet towards each other. Oh, pardon me. If you found that you made it into this butterfly and your knees were all the way up towards your chest and your armpits, you can just use a block. And placing the block on the outside of your knees is one thing that might help. B, you might want to lift yourself up a little bit. Even if you just slide a towel under your bum, it can really help to, with that lift, be a little bit more open in your legs and eventually in the future. The idea that hopefully we won't need any props. Remember, every day is different. And if you really are feeling tense, tight, tired, emotional for any reasons, that's sort of the hips. And as you can see, we're doing a lot of hip openers today on this Friday. This is one of our longer postures for today. So we've already been here for 1 minute and we've got 3 to go. So if you find that you're fidgeting a lot, maybe you don't go quite as deep. Maybe you bring your hands behind you and relax a little bit more than you might have with that forward fold. As long as you're feeling some sort of a stretch, that's all that matters. So really find that stillness, find something that you can commit to. And if you want to bring your chin to your chest and get a nice little stretch through the upper back and neck a little bit more, you can. Enjoy any sort of involuntary twitches or trembling that happen here. I know my toes are like tingling and doing their own thing as we make these openings in the hip. Reminder that if your eyes are moving, your mind is moving. So find that one spot to relax or simply close your eyes. If you took any sort of a forward fold, lift yourself up. We're going to make our way onto our bellies. Perhaps keep a pillow or blocks nearby as we come onto our bellies. Next up, we've got half frog. On my way, I'm going to tuck my shirt in like a winner. Okay, great. I'll face this way so you get a slightly better view of what's happening if you need it. Ooh. All right, I'm going to make a pillow with my hands and place my forehead on my hand pillow. Keeping that left leg straight, we're going to draw that right leg up into a half frog. You can be as much in this little 90-90 position as you want. So how much can you get your knee in line with your hip? And then how much can you get your heel in line with your knee? And then can you make another delightful 90-degree angle with the sole of your foot. And then I want you to press that inner side of your leg to the floor. And maybe you're so tight that this is not working for you today. In which case, having a bolster or a pillow under your belly so that you're lifted. Once again, just like it did in butterfly, that little lift of the body can make these stretches so much more attainable. We got a lot of 3-minute holds today. And this is another one. So you got 2 minutes left right here, and then we're going to slightly change our upper body in the pose. So we're really getting a full 5 minutes of this single-sided hip opener. And you might even notice while you take some big deep breaths down here that when you inhale and your lungs and diaphragm are full and your body is a little bit lifted, that this stretch on your right leg actually feels easier. And when you exhale and you sink a little bit more into the mat, that the stretch feels a little more challenging. And if you haven't noticed that yet, maybe this next minute right here, that's something that you tune into. All right, next up, 2 options. One, you can stay here for 2 more minutes. Or you can increase the stretch in your lower back, which is also probably going to increase what we're feeling on that inner thigh. So if this is already a lot for you, stay right here. Or maybe check this next thing out and let's see what happens. So we're going to bring ourselves up into a little sphinx frog, I like to call it. So while you're here, I want you to, once again, think about using a prop. Come hither, prop. So maybe placing something underneath of your chest so that you can press down on it, and then you can relax your upper body, upper back. Still feeling it big time in that lower back, but using the prop helped me to take that extra rounding out of the way back and really release the pelvis, the belly button closer to the mat. And find whatever works. You got 1 minute left. All right, let's carefully release our upper bodies back down to the floor. Ooh, send that right leg back to meet with the left. What's happening? Go ahead, bend your knees for a minute and windshield wipe your legs. Now keep that right leg out. I'm just gonna turn around. I'm moving away also from the bird. And this time left leg lifts up. Left leg lifts up. Just doing your best to get that knee in line with your hip, heel in line with knee, making all those 90-degree angles. And relaxing your head down to the floor and placing it on your hands. And that's also going to apply a little bit of pressure into your forehead. So we're just like stimulating through the forehead you and your amazing creative abilities. Are you pressing your inner thigh towards the mat? I'm not just pressing through the inner thigh, I'm also pressing a little bit through the inner sole of the foot. Just a couple breaths left right here. Final minute. Remember, you can stay here or start to get that nice stretch into your low back. Lift yourself up. Come into your Sphinx frog. Remember, you can, that feels so good. You can use your block, placing a little something between like that belly button and upper chest area to be a little bit more supported. And then you can sink your pelvis down into the mat for our last 2 minutes right here. The last two active passive minutes before we'll find our Savasana. Great. If you're using that prop under your chest, let's start to move that prop away. Send your left leg back to meet with your right. Relax your arms down by your side. We're going to take our Savasana on our belly. So turn and place one ear on the mat. Maybe you need to use a hand for a little support. But if you can, keep your arms relaxed by your side. Go for it. Getting a nice little stretch of the neck by turning and facing one direction. Let's get this gentle twist and stretch on the other side of the neck as well. So use your inhale to lift your head up and then turn, twist to the opposite direction. Place your opposite temple on the floor. As always, you are welcome to stay in Savasana for as long as feels right for you. Maybe you really want to turn over and find a traditional Savasana, and that's awesome. It's all the time we have together today, though. So if you want to close class out together, let's make our way to a seated position. I'm going to pass through a quick little cat-cow before I get there. And then here I go towards that comfortable seated position. Great. All right. Oh, that feels so good. I feel so much more relaxed and open. And I hope if you join me in this comfortable seated position, that you really do too. Ground through your sit bones. Inhale your arms up overhead. Bring your hands palms together and then bring them down to your heart center with your thumbs touching on your chest sternum. Tuck your chin to your chest. Honor yourself. Come back to your mantra or my mantra and tell yourself, I'm amazing. If you have any questions or concerns about anything that I said and we did together, please reach out and let me know. Till we are together again, I always encourage you to think good thoughts, speak good words, eat good foods, do good deeds, and take the time, like you did today, to nourish yourself from the inside out. If it feels right, you can bring your thumb to your third eye, your drishti, lift your heart up to the sky. Ah, one more big breath and know that the light within me honors, sees, and is so thankful for the light within you. So keep shining and have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.